Hello and afternoon all. Hope you're well. I'd like to get straight into EVs today. Start with the announcement by Bloomberg that to date they've estimated that spending on EVs has crossed the $1 trillion mark. That's a milestone. It's showing the direction of travel. It's showing continued activity and growth in this sector, and that's exciting and continues to confirm some of the topics and analysis that we've covered previously. What I'd really like to go in today, in addition to this, is a specific company called Vulcan Energy Resources. You can find this company on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Actually, a really innovative firm. What they do is they generate geothermal using geothermal resources that generate electricity, running a kind of a loop system from the thermal brines that are there in the Rhine Valley. And by using a particular type of membrane, they take lithium, extract lithium from there, whilst they circulate and continue to generate electricity from the geothermal resource. So that's pretty innovative, and they've got huge plans, and they've signed binding supply agreements for lithium hydroxide with a number of big players. And they announced last few days the Definitive Feasibility Study for phase one of their project. Now, overall, it's a nice strapline. You could say this is the 1 million company. In their latest presentation, they say their aim is to provide renewable energy for 1 million homes or people per annum, remove 1 million CO2 tons of emissions from the environment or equivalent, and produce lithium hydroxide for 1 million EVs, passenger vehicles, per annum. So 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. Kind of pretty distinctive formula they've put out. Now, definitive feasibility study, this is a stage we get to in a company that one can start talking about financing and moving into production, etc. So it's a real big milestone for the firm. However, in the current environment, to my surprise, and I think to the company's surprise, upon the announcement of the DFS, the share price actually decreased by over 10%. It's standing now at around 4.1 euros, something like that per share. And a bit disappointing for existing shareholders like myself. Disclosure. Nevertheless, let's look into the factors and look forward in terms of what is this like as a company to invest in the future. So the NPV estimate in the DFS came out for phase one around post-tax $2.6 billion. That's $2.6 billion. The key metric for phase one of the project, the NPV post-tax came in around 2.6 billion euros. So that's kind of, let's say, a metric I'd like to use as a proxy for the potential value of the company. Current market valuation is around 627 million euros. So phase one of the project, that's to produce things over 24,000 tons per annum of lithium hydroxide, 2.6 billion euros, and the current share price 4.1 euros per share, and market cap of over 600 million euros. Now, post-tax IRR of over 26%. Payback period 3.5 years or so. So some pretty good metrics in this DFS. Looking forwards, so what are the issues? Obviously, what the market has assessed are risks, especially in the current environment with interest rates going up and market fluctuations and all kinds of economic data, which is very difficult to make sense of. The market has looked at this project as having now higher risk than perhaps previously was considered. What type of risks? Okay, obviously I explained the process by which this company is planning to generate the energy and also the lithium. There's concern in the market about that process. Okay, that's number one. There's concern in the market about the expected capex that's needed for phase one, which I think is 1.5 billion euros, and that's a big concern. And there are other permitting concerns, environmental concerns, technical concerns, scalability, etc. Nevertheless, a brokerage company, Ulster, has reiterated its buy for this company and has let's say a midterm target of 14 euros per share. So what we're looking for with this particular company now is some catalysts. We need to see them carry on making progress for their demonstration plant, an update on financing, also permitting, things like that. They're expecting to go into construction, let's say beginning of 2026. I think following that timeline, or being close to that timeline, is going to be very important to continue to build confidence with the market. But generally speaking, what I like about this company, I think the management team, the structure they've built is quite impressive. And the investors they've got on board, huge investors, including Stellantis, for example. I think one of the richest persons in Australia, Gina Reinhardt, also her son, have invested a significant capital in the company. But most importantly for me, when I've looked at this company over the last couple of years, they have delivered everything they said they would deliver. Now for me, that's kind of as much proof as you can get in the pudding. They have delivered what they said they would deliver in terms of tests, in terms of exploration and permits and process flow sheets and binding offtake agreements, additional capital injected, key partners, setting up the management team, preparing for now production for the future. So they've ticked off all their boxes. You know, the resource is there. They just have to now move to that next phase. And this is a company that I continue to hold. I think now with the price falling back so far, maybe it will actually continue to fall, but at a certain point I will be looking to reinvest and grow my existing holding there. Phase one, just to summarize, phase one, 2.6 billion euro NPV, net present value, versus a current market cap of around just over 600 million euros. I think that's very positive. Yes, there is financing risk. Yes, there is further need for a portion of equity raise. Nevertheless, the CEO of the company owns a significant shareholding. So do other members of the company. Significant investments already been made. In March, the EU Critical Minerals Act should be released. There's all kinds of other legislation due this year. The EU sees this as a high priority project. With the entire project, so phase one and phase two. So phase two DFS still to come, but with the entire project which amounts to about 50,000 tons of nitric oxide per annum. That would be potentially the biggest lithium production project in the pipeline. So highly strategic for the EU, highly strategically positioned in Germany. And the management team so far over the last couple of years, which I've been following this one, has delivered everything that they said they would deliver. So that's a big thumbs up for me. As I say again, do your research. There is a number of brokers following this, so there's a lot of explicit analysis out there. They've produced an excellent presentation deck. You can go and read that. As I mentioned, the EV industry is going in one direction. Petrol engines, diesel engines are in some countries are being phased out and frankly outlawed 2030, 2035, depending on which country. So it's the right sector. EV market continues to grow. EU is at the heart of this transformation and transition. Germany is a powerhouse when it comes to automotive engineering. Lithium is a key resource. Critical Minerals Act coming out soon. And therefore, I'm very, very impressed so far with this company. Understandable, but slightly disappointed with the way the market has reacted. But I continue to hold and follow, and will look to expand my personal holding. Thanks for watching. Just another bit of snippet of information on what I'm doing, how I'm investing. Not advice. It's up to you to do your own research and seek out professional advice. However, I see huge potential in this particular company going forwards. Thank you very much. Stay safe.